Welcome to What Are Those, the show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Boy, your boy's been busy changing diapers and soothing a crying baby and doing all of the things that I would normally do, like work and take care of my son and make sure my wife is good and all of that stuff. All of that stuff has been going on. But I've been paying attention to sneakers. I even managed to cop a big pair, which I will show you a little bit later. But, man, I'm feeling good because there's been so many dope drops this year. Paul Spann and I attempted to talk about it last week. We kind of just started just just rapping and talking about a bunch of stuff, man. So what I wanted to do this week is more streamline the conversation, okay? So this week, I have the four best drops of 2023 so far. And I'm going to tell you what, it's Nike heavy and it's Jordan Brand heavy because Jordan Brand and Nike have been knocking it out of the park this year. I don't care what nobody else say. Jordan Brand and Nike are killing it this year, man. It's been so far. We're only in March. We're getting towards the end of March. And I'm seeing what's coming out for the rest of the year that we know about. This year has been outstanding. There's just no other way to put it. This year has been outstanding, man. It's been, if you care about sneakers and you just really just care about wearing sneakers and having dope stuff, this year has been outstanding. The stuff that's dropped outside of the Tiffany Dunks has been somewhat easy to cop. Some has been very easy to cop. And then most of it has been pretty decent on resale. Like, I'm not talking about spending $600 extra than the retail price. I'm talking about $50 extra, $75 extra, maybe $100 extra, man. I don't know, man. I think this year is shaping up to be one of the best ever. I know that might sound crazy. It might sound like I'm trying to hype it up. I'm not. I just think it's been really fun this year, man. It's been really fun. There's been a lot of drops. Some you missed, some you hit on. Some are super hype. Most are just really cool, man. And what I'm really happy about is that the Dornbecker line is back. I mean, it never really went anywhere. It's been, Dornbecker is an important thing. The movement and the moment behind it, everything behind it is super dope. But sometimes the sneakers are hit or miss when it comes to just everyday wearing. Not the message, but just wearing. And the Dornbecker line is back. We're going to get into that in a moment, man. Look, I can't wait. My top four is coming up in a few. We're going to get to it. Okay, now, before we get started, last week I talked about two sneakers in particular. One I want to kind of clarify some stuff on, and another one I want to talk about just one more time, okay? First I want to clarify, Paul brought up the SB Jordan 4, okay? Now it's towards the end of the show, and also forgive your boy, his brain's been cloudy. Again, I got a 3-week-old sitting downstairs. I'm tired, I ain't been getting a lot of sleep, man, so when he said that one went right over my head. That sneaker is actually dropping today. I'm recording this show on the 21st. It's dropping on the 21st. That sneaker drops today. It might have dropped already. What time it is? It's almost 10 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, it's about to drop on the East Coast. Yeah, that sneaker is fire. Okay, that sneaker is fire. I knew what he was talking about. The SB thing threw me off when he brought it up earlier. But I did want to share my opinion on that sneaker, man. My homegirl Narga said that might be the perfect sneaker, and I have to agree. That sneaker has everything going for it, okay? The shape is beautiful on it. It's a Jordan 4. It's a clean Jordan 4 in a very clean colorway that you don't really get often in a 4, that kind of lucky green thing, which is a thing this year. Green is like the color. I don't know. It's like the Jordan color this year. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I've been noticing. I got the lucky green Jordan 2s. I think there's some ones coming out. Obviously, these Jordan 4s, man, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I have no complaints about these. I won't be able to cop today. And the resale on these is about 4 something already. So it's a little bit of a higher resale. But, I mean, look at the sneaker. Again, it kind of speaks to what's been going on this year and how amazing this year has been. If you really think about it, man, I think we got Pearl. Phone pods is coming back this year. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff happening, man, that you're going to be able to get your hands on. And I just appreciate that. Some stuff is raffles or whatever, but, and this is a raffle, but it's been a lot of people getting W's on these, getting early access on these. We'll see how people do today when they drop and they hit sneakers. We'll see how people do. I'm just loving it, man. I'm just loving it. So that's the first sneaker I wanted to talk about from last week. Another one I want to really talk about again, okay, is this Jordan 3 Wizards PE. Listen, I made a bold statement last week. A lot of people been talking about it. A lot of people from the DMV agree with me, but I want to clarify and really, and I even clarify, but really just double down on what I'm trying to say and really explain what I'm trying to say, okay, because some people had questions. What I mean is there's city packs. There's packs for Tokyo. There's packs for Paris. There's Japan themed sneakers. There's LA themed sneakers. There's New York themed sneakers. There's Chicago themed sneakers, right? Detroit. I got a pair of Jordan 2s sitting right there. I'm looking at them right now. Crafted after a shop in Detroit. Got the street lines and the street names on it and all that, man. You got sneakers that say Brooklyn on the bottom, all that. DC don't get nothing. DC gets nothing. Nothing. Shout outs to New Balance for recognizing that DC put them on the map in terms of streetwear and street culture. No one be more, no one New York. It was DC. That's what we do. Shout outs to them for recognizing that and offering some DMV inspired. We got the DC one with the red and black on it. Got the flag, I think, on them. You got the Eat version of them. Shout outs to New Balance, man. But Nike, Jordan brand, we don't get no love. So this one means something. And I don't know if people are really thinking of it this way, but this one means something because Michael Jordan, let me tell you something real quick, and then we're going to get into the main topic, okay? When Michael Jordan decided to play, forget about, Jordan playing for the Wizards, that was whack and all that, man. I could sit here for 2 hours and tell you why the Jordan era for the Washington Wizards was some of the most exciting basketball we've ever seen in this town. And how it ended and how it wasn't just because the man was washed. The man blew his knee out mid-season. When he blew his knee out, I believe the Wizards were like third in the East, or at one point they were number one in the East. At one point during the All-Star break, Doug Collins, who was the head coach for the Washington Wizards at the time, was gearing up to coach the All-Star game. That meant that they were number one in the East. I think by the time Michael Jordan got hurt, they were like third in the East or something like that. They were headed to the playoffs. I can show you a clip, and one day I will, of reporters asking Michael Jordan, oh man, so did you know that this team could be this good this quick? Michael Jordan blew his knee out mid-season. Michael Jordan was 39 years old. He never recovered from the knee injury. But before the knee injury, Michael Jordan had 2 50-point games in a row. He was the oldest player to ever score 50 in a game and do it back-to-back. One of them was against the Phoenix Suns. No, he hit a game winner against the Phoenix Suns. So he had like 2 game winners in a row. Michael Jordan was cooking. He was averaging like 25 points a game. Now, that's my defense of Jordan, okay? I'm always going to defend MJ. But the era, you had to be there. You had to be outside to really understand what was going on when Michael Jordan came here to play. It was a big deal. Guys, we're Wizards fans, Bullets fans. Our team sucks, and we don't have nothing. This team has never brought anything to the table except for in the 1970s with Wes Unseld and them. We talk about the Gilbert Arenas era and all that. That was cool. We talking about first-round knockouts, though. We talking about 7 seeds and 6 seeds. But when Michael Jordan was here, the team felt special. When Michael Jordan was here, the team felt relevant, and the city was popping. We had Michael Jordan playing here. It was a moment, and for people in my age bracket that remember that, it is a big deal. And not only that, for sneakers, MJ was bringing back a lot of those classics on the court. Okay? He was bringing back a lot of those classics on the court while also premiering new stuff that a lot of y'all like right now. Okay? So, When he wore that True Blue Jordan 3, that was a big deal. Okay? Even though it's not really now, mind you, this one isn't really a True Blue, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you got to give the sneaker away to DC folks. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that people within the city, shops within the city need to have access to that sneaker. You all should be marketing that sneaker, and you should be using DC to market that sneaker. That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't talking about resale and nothing like that. Obviously, the sneaker will be hard to get regardless. What I'm saying is that you need to be getting with some of these sneaker shops. You really need to make sure that is a DC, that people understand that this is a DC thing. DC is a huge market that I think a lot of these sneakerheads, Sneaker Con, all these places, you all are missing this market. There's a lot of us here. It's a big city, and it's a tri-state. If you need a list of stores, I can get it to you. Okay? That's what I was trying to say about the Jordan 3. Okay, so let's get into our main topic. Let's get to the fun. Let's talk about my top 4. My top 4 sneakers to drop so far in 2023. Okay, so some of y'all know that I work with Trade Up. Shout out to Trade Up, my folks over there. I do like a little weekly mini show for them called The Big 3. Shouts out to The Big 3. Check it out on my page. And it's cool to kind of combine the brands, you know what I mean? Shouts out to the folks at Up On Game who I work with. Obviously, that's what this show is. Shouts out to Trade Up. This is like a version of The Big 3, but it's really 4 because 4 is the magic number. All right. And honestly, I'm not going to just start making up sneakers. I'm going to just throw any old sneaker in there. It's 4 that really caught my attention this year. So we're going to break them down. One of them I actually have in my possession. It's right here. I can't wait to show it to you. It is by far my favorite sneaker of the year, and I really had to get it in hand to really realize that. We'll get to that one in a second. But number 1 on the list for 2023 so far is a super sleeper. A super sleeper. And again, it's in that Dornbecker pack. Man, I haven't been excited like this for a Dornbeckers in a long time. It is the Jordan 1 Low Dornbecker. Man, this sneaker, God, look at that. Okay, so the details on this one are incredible. I just, the Dornbecker thing is super special. I can spend the entire show talking about Dornbecker, the moment, the movement, all the kid that designed all this stuff, man. But just purely as a sneaker, it's loud, okay? It's super loud, but it pops. And that, I'm telling you, remember when I talked about a while back that one of the things I've always loved about sneakers from when I was a little kid, man, is how they're eye catchers, right? Sometimes you're wearing something and it's just a classic, a Jordan 3 bread or, something, one of the classic colorways or a nice pair of New Balance, the